Hello everyone, welcome to The Scoop live here at Saddleback Studios. I'm your host, Heather Eves, and we have a lot of great segments on our show today. First, we go to a barn to learn all about how to take care of horses, and then come back to the studio to listen to a local artist talk about her art. Following that, we have a story about a tattoo artist trying to make a name for herself, and a special musical segment from some Saddleback students. Finally, we go tour a thrift store that's turning the thrifting world on its head, and finish off with a lesson on how to make a great cup of coffee. In the United States alone, 1.6 million households own a horse. In addition to that, 30.5% of U.S. households hold horse enthusiasts and spectators. While Caitlin McMorran is more than just an enthusiast. Horses are her livelihood. She has a barn, lots of horses, and shows you how she takes care of them and loves the horses. Let's take a look at her now.
Caitlin is the manager of her family's privately owned barn. Since childhood, she's grown up with horses and uses her knowledge and many skills to keep the barn running smoothly.
I was born on the back of a horse, basically. My mom has always been on the back of a horse. She's always been riding. She had my first horse, Joey, from the time that she was a teenager, and unfortunately he passed away when I was in college. And before then we had got Bella. I've had Bella now since I was 10 years old, so almost 20 years. And that horse is my life.
Caitlin moved to Trabuco Canyon with her family when she was around 10 years old. That's when her passion for riding truly took place. She started 4-H and also Pony Club, where she learned to ride English.
My mom was a single mom, and so if I wanted to take lessons, if I wanted to learn how to ride from a formal trainer, then I had to work for it. I, never got anything for free. I had to work my butt off if I, wanted to seriously ride. It's something that's always stuck with me, is riding and my love of horses.
On their property, there are 8 horses, including her own, that Caitlin tends to. Apart from riding and turning horses out, she's also responsible for managing hay, feeding twice a day, and keeping the stalls clean.
The horses are expensive. They're a lot of work. You have to prioritize things when you have horses, especially out here in Orange County when, things are a little bit more expensive. And it's a lot different from other barns, in this area where you can pay somebody to feed your horse, you can pay somebody to clean their stalls, you can pay somebody to groom your horse, you can show up to the barn and your horse will be ready to ride, and you don't have any sort of actual connection with your horse. Where here, I live on this property. I'm here night and day with my horses. There are times when I'm getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning to take care of horses, especially a horse that's been sick all night long. And here I have to have a much bigger commitment because these are my horses and I take care of them, and I can't rely on anybody else to take care of them for me.
When working at the barn, there's always another project to get started on. Currently, the hay barn's walls are nearly finished and will provide protection from the elements, as well as a clubhouse for family and friends to relax and enjoy.
We had all the resources in the world. We could go so far with the barn, but little goals are getting Lila and Piper really rolling, because right now they're not necessarily rideable at the moment, but we're working on it, and we love to get them started and getting them out there in the ring and riding and working. We love having people out here. We love having people enjoy the barn, enjoy the horses, and so we want this ultimately to be a good place to hang out, and this is what I love to do. I love to take care of my horses. It's been my passion for my entire life. Nothing else can come before that. It is what it is, basically.
If you would like to know more about barn life and horse care, simply go online and see what's going on with your local barns. If you're lucky, you might be able to ride a horse yourself. Sculpting is one of the oldest forms of art, dating back to ancient Greece around 800 BC. We were lucky enough to have one such sculptor here in the studio by the name of Belinda Bustamante. Let's look at fellow Saddleback student Jack McCaffrey, who sat down with Belinda and interviewed her about her work.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Saddleback Studios. I'm your host, Jack McCaffrey, and we have a very special guest for today's show. Her name is Belinda Bustamante. She's a sculptor, mother, and grandmother who has decided that it's never too late to chase their passions. It's great to meet you, Belinda. How are you today?
I'm great, Jack. Thank you for having me.
So I was wondering, how do you exactly choose what rocks to use for your sculptures?
The way I choose a rock that's suitable for my sculptures is I go down to a mine in close to San Diego and I pick out my rocks. But the rocks that come out of the mine are not exposed to sunlight. So I'd like to give you this wood wrap so you can test it. So just kind of hold on here.
Right.
And then rub it. And if it forms a powder quickly, then you can see. There you go, Jack. And you see that it's worthy of becoming a sculpture.
Wow, okay, that's really interesting.
The way you find out that it's not worthy is, let me hand you this rock here.
Right.
Go ahead and rub it.
Sure.
And yes, and as you can see, the powder is not forming.
Okay.
So that tells you that the rock is not worthy for sculpting. But what I bought was a shoe, and I thought maybe you might want to try to sculpt something with your hand. I brought you some clay.
Right. That sounds like a lot of fun, yeah.
You can try to
Yeah.
make the shoe here.
Yes, I would love to.
And then here, let me hand you these tools, which you can use also, and you can slice and carve.
All right, and do you mind if I ask you some questions while we do this?
Yes, please, go ahead.
All right. The first question I'd like to ask you is how you actually got into sculpting.
I got into sculpting by attending Santa Monica Community College in 2018. I decided to go back and improve my drawing. And what I found was a sculpting class there. So I said, I'm going to give this a try. So I was very nervous at first. And I went ahead and gave it a try and got into the stone sculpting, which I love. So.
Awesome, that's really cool. Mm-hmm. And then, so what was it like going back to school?
I'll be honest with you, going back to school was very frightening. I was scared. I mean, at my age, going into the classroom again. So what I did, I went one day and I swung that door open and said to myself, I'm going to go in there. I walked in there, and to my surprise, the young people were just so respectful, so wonderful. And I think actually they appreciated having a grandma in the class, so I enjoyed that.
Right, that's really great to hear. It's really great. And then, so do you come from a background of artists at all?
Yes, my father, Henry, was a yacht carpenter. And I feel a lot of my techniques I use today are due to observing my father's work.
That's great. That's really cool. That's really great. And then, did anyone actually specifically inspire you to go back to school?
Yes, I was reading an article one day. There's a senior accomplished artist. She's 93 years old. Her name is Yayo Kasuma. And she does these amazing pumpkins that have polka dots, and they have them all over the world where she places them. Currently, right now at the Broad Museum, she has a display there called the Infinity Room, and that's a real must-see.
Awesome. And then, how would you like to go in the future with your sculpting?
In the future, I'm hoping that I'll be doing the full-body sculptures and making my sculptures bigger and better. And hopefully my website by fall will be available to showcase my work, which I'm really looking forward to.
Great. So I think I'm about done here. If you want to
let me have a look. Okay.
Yeah.
You did a great job,
Yeah.
but you do have to work on your technique, Jeff.
It was an effort.
You did good.
I tried.
You formed it.
So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So thank you for everyone for watching this show. I'm your host, Jack McCaffrey, wishing you a great day. Goodbye. I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.
It can take weeks, even months, to create a sculpture, so the next time you happen across one, take some time to appreciate it. It could be someone's life's work. We have to take a quick break, but we'll be back real soon after these messages. Welcome back to The Scoop here at Saddleback Studios. I'm your host, Heather Eves. A study taken in 2021 showed that in the United States, about 17% of people reported having a tattoo, while 9% reported having more than one. A woman named Kalea Reinhold, a tattoo artist, is capitalizing on this study and is striving to make a name for herself on the tattooing scene. Let's see her now.
There are many different forms of art, but none quite as unique as tattooing. Tattoos are a permanent form of art, where the skin is used as the canvas. Becoming a tattoo artist is no easy feat, as it requires a lot of practice, and there's a lot of room for error. One such tattoo artist is Kalea Reinhold, who is hoping to start her journey into the world of tattooing very soon.
I just went on Amazon and bought professional sterilized needles and ink and just started doing it on me and my friend. And I was like, I realized I really loved doing that. And eventually it just snowballed all on itself. I got a machine, kept drawing, and here we are today. This is just to make sure my hand is comfy and it doesn't cramp up. I don't expect it to for such a small tattoo, but it's nice for bigger tattoos and I just got used to it, so I just use it every time now.
Although her followers start to grow, and her skills continue to improve, Kalea doubts herself and her skills as an artist, and wonders if the path she is on is the correct one for her.
I'm definitely afraid that I'm not good enough, and there's a lot of people out there who are younger than me or have more experience than me, people who have been to college for art versus me who didn't go to college. Just afraid I don't have that artistic ability that other people may have. So I just try to work really hard to get there.
Every artist has their own style, whether they be a painter or a musician. Tattoo artists are no different. However, what does make tattoo artists stand out is what they do the art on.
In the tattoo industry, it's equally as much about style and as much as how you can vibe with your tattoo artist. And I feel like I am able to make a space where people feel comfortable and safe and heard, and we can collaborate on the piece, and I won't be offended even if they do change something about what I've drawn for them. I feel like I can hop in and help other people get what they want, not just what I want to do as an artist.
Kalea's story is an inspiring one. Her journey into the world of tattooing shows that with enough hard work and perseverance, your dreams can become reality. However, her story is not quite done yet. Kalea hopes to one day bring her art into the mainstream.
My husband and I are likely going to move to the East Coast, to Massachusetts, and we just know a lot of people out there and a lot of people who would be supportive of us in starting our own business, so I would probably open up my shop out there. My name is Kalea Reinhold, and I am the future founder of a tattoo shop called A Honey Hive.
If you would like to show your support for Kalea's art, or maybe even get a tattoo yourself, visit her Instagram at ahoneyhive. Up next, we have something very special. 3 of our very own Saddleback students are going to perform here for you today. Garrett, Bo, and Jack met here at school, where they bonded over their love of film and music, and would go on to form what is now their prototype band, Salad in the Fridge. Here's their performance of John, Take Me With You.
John, take me away. Gone and done with the day. they need a plan. I'm getting antsy, I hear the call, I hear the writing that's on the wall. Oh, John, take me with you. Oh, John, take me with you. Oh. I love you. I love you. I saw your lover. Is that your type? I won't see you when it's night. I call my mother to feel alright, and I'm gone when I see you ride. Yeah, gone when I see you ride. Yeah, gone when I see you ride. Do you want your time alone? You're the place where I feel at home. I'll be roaming. I got my phone, and you call when you feel alright. Yeah, you call when you feel alright. Yeah, you call when you feel alright.
Thank you so much, Salad in the Fridge. We have to take one more break, but don't go anywhere because we're going to be back with more great content. Welcome back to The Scoop here at Saddleback Studios. I'm your host, Heather Eves. Thrift stores are a great way to find unique and one-of-a-kind items for a low price. One thrift store, however, right here in Orange County, is taking thrifting to the next level.
While there are many thrift stores to choose from in the Orange County area, one in particular stands out above the rest. OC Mystery Box in Lagoon Hills, California.
I've been in business at this location for a little over 4 years. I started it with my uncle in 2018, and he recently retired, so now I am the full owner, 100%. I run it with my wife, and yeah, we've been doing this type of business though for about 15 years.
On the surface, OC Mystery Box is like any ordinary thrift store, with an assortment of items such as electronics, clothes, tools, and records. However, the store differs in the way that it gets its inventory not by donations, but by buying out the contents of abandoned storage lockers.
You never know what you're going to find in there, and usually when people store stuff, they're not storing things they don't really want anymore. And unfortunately, when it comes time for them to go to auction, it's usually never for a good reason why they can't pay their bill. So there's always usually good things inside the units, and that's what makes it exciting. Every day's a little different.
This inventory is constantly changing because they're always buying new lockers. Each week there could be many more new items.
The most interesting thing I've probably found doing this were the mineral specimen raw emeralds from Bahia, Brazil. There were 3 of them. One weighed approximately 75 pounds to the heaviest one weighing about 250 pounds. Not gem quality, but definitely an interesting item that I'd never seen before.
Along with finding many other interesting items, such as a letter from Teddy Roosevelt, and even a book signed by Babe Ruth, Jerry does his best to make the store a very comforting environment, almost like a home away from home.
If I was to say we've had an impact on the community with our store, it's having a fun place to shop that has interesting items and a place for people to come and chat and socialize with each other and hang out, and at the same time maybe find a unique item that they will enjoy in their home.
Many people come to the OC Mystery Box not just for the interesting treasures, but also the comforting and welcoming environment. They are open between 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thursday through Saturday, and 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. on Sunday. They also have a website you can visit if you can't come in person, called https://theocmysterybox.com. Along with shopping online, going to the store in person is a real treat, because the items inside the store are of a much higher quality than in a regular thrift store because of the way the items are acquired through abandoned storage lockers. This gem of a thrift store is definitely a diamond in the rough. It is worth a visit if you are local to the area, or even if you are not. You never know what mystery you may find at the OC Mystery Box.
If you would like to know more about the OC Mystery Box, you can visit their website at theocmysterybox.com. Coffee. Love it or hate it, you can't deny its popularity. In the U.S., around 64% of adults drink coffee every day. We were lucky enough to have our own guest coffee barista, Garrett Bell, come into the studio and show us what good coffee means.
Hello, my name is Garrett, and I will be your guest barista this morning here on Art of the Pour, where I get the privilege to show you how to get the most out of your morning elixir. Today, I will be showing you how to create the best cup of coffee using the 4 to 6 pour-over method created by Tetsu Kasuya. Let's get started, shall we? For today's example, we will be using a few pieces of simple equipment, including a gram scale, a vessel for our coffee, a gooseneck kettle, a hand grinder, a V60 dripper, as well as the paper filter, and a bag of naturally processed coffee beans roasted approximately 2 weeks ago. We'll first start off with our 300 grams of water at 197 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll finish grinding our coffee at a grind size of 3.5. An added bonus of this setup is that you can take this camping, which is really nice if you ask me. Now that we've prepped our beans, we're going to go ahead and put some water over the paper filter so that we lose that paper taste. Some. Additionally, we'll add some into our vessel, and this is so that the coffee doesn't get shocked. And we'll go ahead and discard that water. Now that that's prepped, we'll go ahead and throw the grounds in the center of the V60. Remember, this is already taired, so we should be hitting that 20 grams of coffee that we grinded in the first place. We'll go ahead and tear it out once more as well. Now we'll go ahead and pour our first pour of 50 grams of water on top of that to start our bloom. We'll do this with an easy flow of water in a circular motion on top of our bed. Now the bloom is one of the most important parts of the process. This initial phase, you'll really be able to see what your final cup is going to be like. As you can see, while the dripper is dripping, I'm going to delicately pick it up and delicately swirl it so that the coffee bed stays nice and flat. This ensures that all the grounds stay at the bottom of the bed, and that ensures that the extraction is going to be as good as it can be and that we're incorporating all the grounds that we can. We can do it once more as well. It's moving at a very nice pace right now, actually. Since the water has drained into the vessel, we'll start the second pour. Again, going nice and gently, and just incorporating that we're covering the entire top of the surface. Now, the second pour was 70 grams of water because the type of beans we're using are Colombian, and they have some really great sweet notes that we want to bring out in this cup. Remember, we're using the 4 to 6 method today. We will do 3 pours in total, with the first 2 being 40% and the third being 60% of our water. Using Kasuya's method, the first pour will determine the acidity, the second pour, the sweetness, and the third pour, the strength of our cup. We'll let this keep going. Now this 300-gram recipe cup will be good for only 1 cup of coffee. Just a reminder, sometimes I do keep a timer running during my initial dialing in of the beans I'm going to be using for that week. Now, you want your pour to be no longer than 7 minutes, as it would have an astringent taste due to over-extraction. With that being said, I believe that there's something really underappreciated in the slow process that a pour-over takes. It really makes you slow down and appreciate what your end product will be, even more than something that is quick and painless. Now that the second pour is about finished up, there's not any type of movement on the top of the coffee bed. That's how I'll be able to see that. I'm gonna go ahead and do my third pour. And this is going to be 180 grams of water on top of that. Almost there. There we are. We'll go ahead and swirl this one more time here, just to make sure that we're really incorporating all those beans. Finished. I'm gonna go ahead and finish prematurely with this, but it's okay because I like my strength just a little bit less. Go ahead and dump out that residue. Yep. Awesome. And what we'll have finished here is a fantastic cup of coffee. This has been The Art of the Pour. Thank you for joining us.
Our guest barista wanted me to tell all you guys at home to make sure to support your local coffee shops as much as possible. It really means a lot. And that does it for today's edition of The Scoop here at Saddleback Studios. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Once again, I'm your host, Heather Eves, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.